Well, hi there everyone, and welcome back to Infinity, where you find me down in the Quarries. It's been quite a while since I've been down here, and unsurprisingly enough, or maybe surprisingly enough considering it was hooked up to survivalist generators, this quarry has finished. It's gone all the way down to the bottom. It never takes out those berry bushes. I could probably use my jetpack at some point and go and grab those actually. That would be clever. But it's done pretty well. We've got all of this sort of stuff. And we have several chests full of stuff which I haven't collected yet. We've got loads of copper, tons of redstone there, and even more redstone. I'm not short of redstone anymore. Are there any diamonds? I'm sure I saw some diamonds not long ago. 30 diamonds. Quite a bit of coal as well. They've got a ton of obsidian. This is good. Now if we come over here, we can see that I have filled in this quarry. Filled in is probably a bit of an optimistic thing to say. I have in fact just tiled over it by one square, which ain't that great. But over here at the back we have the space for the next quarry. And the reason that I'm over here though is because I'm going to do things a bit different, because survivalist generators are awful. They are really, really bad. So I don't really want to use them anymore. So what I'm going to do is grab some stuff which I want, which is this stuff, yellowite ore. We've probably got tons of it actually. I'm going to grab a bit of redstone and the diamonds whilst I'm here. Is there anything in that? Nothing in that. And while I'm here actually, did these others... this quarry should have some chests off it somewhere. I guess they're there. Is that the only chest sat on that one? It is. Yeah, this one's full of yellowite as well. I might as well take it. It's one of those things I simply never took up to yet. And this one doesn't have much exciting in it at all. And that's just full of cobble. Let's head on back home again. Running and jumping as fast as we possibly can. Back to our little train station, into our little minecart, and off we goes. Now this hasn't changed that much. I think it's pretty much the same as it was the last time we came. It's still a complete mess really. I could really do with sprucing this up. I haven't quite decided. Should I spruce this up and make it like a really posh underground? Or should I keep it like this? It is, after all, the working trains to the quarry. I don't know. I shall decide eventually. There was more oreberry bushes in the roof there. I shall have to grab them at some point. Right, here we are, back in the train station, which you might notice has had some changes. It's not exactly got very far, but I am trying to do something with it. It probably looks a bit better. And whilst we are over here, we will go through the marketplace. I somehow walked backwards into the marketplace. And we have a few more paths going in. We have these buildings sort of going up. These are going to be shops. They're not getting on that far yet, but it's a start. Now, I would fly up, however, I seem not to be able to. I think I have run out of power in my jetpack, which is really careless. So let's just run back on up through here. I think everything's still going on just as it was in the foundry, and I think everything's going on fine over in the sheep pen. I didn't actually get to go over there, but I think everything's pretty much all right. Let's head on in here. Yeah, they'll be down there somewhere. You can't even actually see them from here. We have a mountain sheep. I hope he's not one of ours who has escaped. And you can see what that looks like now. I think it looks a bit better. It just needs more shape to it rather than being a square. I did pick up an apple whilst I was chopping down trees and stuff. Delicious. Right, I just need to very quickly tell this what it is supposed to be doing. So I'm going to pop a load of these yellowrites into the macerator. Come down here and tell it that this is the macerator, isn't it? Yep, so this is currently where yellowite should go. So you can all go into there, and when a piece of yellowite comes out, crushed yellorium, that goes into here. So this is the ore washing plant. So the ores go into there, where they ever so slowly get washed. Ever so slowly. I'm going to eat me some raspberries while I'm waiting, because they are delicious. And extremely noisy. There we go. And we should get, any second now, purified crushed yellorium ore. Purified crushed yellorium ore goes into there. In there it gets baked off as normal in an electric furnace. That is still working through that. Is there much in there? No, so that's fine. It will get baked off and into a yellorium ingot. So we have yellorium. You might also notice that we have many graphite bars. We also have things which aren't going the right way yet. That can go in there, and you notice we have a nice steady power supply just at the minute. I don't know exactly how long that will last. Hopefully it will last a while. I don't even need to take that off before I put it in, do I? You charge up ever so slowly. So we have yellorium. We have, as I'm sure you've noticed, graphite bars. And we know what that means. That means we are making some sort of a nuclear reactor. The idea is that our quarries are now going to be nuclear powered. Yep, big reactors all round. So, big reactors. Here's all our big reactor stuff. You probably know it quite well. They are very efficient, very good, very powerful. A lot better than a survivalist generator. Now to make these we need loads and loads of reactor casing. So we're going to need a load of iron. So I'm going to grab a couple of stacks of that. I've got a load of that. And the thing which I do need is that yellorium ore to start coming through. Which I don't think it is doing just yet. Probably because that's still working its way through the charcoal. Which I think I have plenty of now. So pop that into there. The other things which we are going to need our landmarks to mark out our area, and we're also going to need, do I have any, this is all such a mess, of the red net cabling. Now I don't think I actually do have any of that just lying around spare, so just while I'm waiting for the yellorium, obviously we need to get power from the big reactor into our quarry, and the best way to do that is just like we were with the tree farm. It's using the red net energy cable, because that automatically converts power between different sorts. Red net energy cables. So I assume those are the same. They are. I don't know what's up with that. So we need red net cables, a bit of gold, and a block of redstone. So we need plastic sheets and redstone. So we need plastic sheets, don't we? Plastic sheets from raw plastic. I'd forgotten most of this from burning rubber. Do we have any plastic sheets? We do have some plastic sheets. We don't have lots of plastic sheets though. That's enough to make us 8 red net cables, which, if memory serves, is not going to make us that very much in the way of cabling. Will it be enough is the question. 2 pieces of gold, and I also need to find an empty project bench and make up a block of redstone. 6 red net energy cables. Well, I guess if I put it close enough, but is there any rubber about? Is there any rubber about? Is there any sticky resin? I must have rubber about in one of these. I do have sticky resin, so I might as well put some through. and cook up the resulting rubber. You want to go into the extractor, ore washer, macerator, electric furnace, metal former, other things. Did I never put the extractor down again? No, I did not. So extractor, you will look extremely, extremely lovely just stuck on a wall above the metal former. Woo. Okay, sticky resin into there, please. Now what we should have by now is 9 yellorium ingots. Perfect. Now what I will do is just tell these. That sounded like glass going. Why did that sound like glass going? Yellorium comes up here. Right, a yellorium in the middle, avec the graphite bars around like that, and several pieces of iron, is going to get us tons and tons of these. Now that is actually enough of those. I think I'll make up one more. These are really quite quick to make. Now back to big reactors. Another thing which I need, so these make up the sides of our reactor. If you don't know, we need a controller, which requires 2 more, 4 of these, and some redstone. Actually, is 32 enough? I need 4 more for each. I bet it's not, is it? I bet you it isn't. Right, come on, I can do that properly. Like that. Just in case I need more. So do we have more yellorium coming through? Ever so, ever so, ever so slowly. Well, we can grab the one out of here. Coupled with the one out of there, this table is going to be empty pretty soon. There we go. So, the controller. It was redstone, 4 of those, a diamond and 2 yellorium. So most of these special parts of the reactor need 4 of these. Diamond and redstone. Gets us our controller. We need the access port to put fuel in and out. That needs a chest and a piston. Do we have any of those just happening to lie about? I would be really happy if we have a piston. We have chests. We have 0 pistons, do we? No, that is a lack of pistons. Cobblestone. You can see that I've been using a lot of cobblestone. I've put a chest on top of that thing just to make it work a bit better. Iron, redstone, cobblestone, and wood makes us up some pistons. I might as well just make up a ton of these whilst I'm here. A ton being 5, obviously. It is the measure of a ton. 5. And there we go, 5 pistons. So a piston with a chest with a load of these. I've probably got those the wrong way up. Is a rednet access port to put fuel in and out. Now the only other thing which we actually need, well, we need a couple more things. We need a way to get the power out, and that is going to be the power tap, which just needs redstone, so that's nice and easy. One power tap. We need a yellorium fuel rod. That's 2 graphite bars actually, yellorium, and the rest of it. So graphite I should have on me, or have I left it all over there? So a yellorium fuel rod is, because I have forgotten already, iron down the sides. So we are going to have 1 yellorium fuel rod. How can I forget that quickly? Graphite. So this is what we're going to call a baby little small reactor. It certainly ain't going to be in any way at all impressive. This is the control rod, by the way. The bigger you make these, the more efficient they are. The more efficient on fuel they are, and the more power you get. We're going to just make a tiny, tiny little one just to get us started. Okay, I think that is everything. What I'm going to do is, I think, wait through the night in order to get some yellorium. So I'm just going to stand here and let this cook off until the morning. And I'll see you then. Oh, I might also make up some RedNet energy cables while I'm at it. Okay, so welcome back. I had to resort to actually using a furnace to cook off my rubber in to get the plastic. I've made up a few more RedNet energy cables. We've got 11 yellorium ingots, we've got 12 yellorium ingots, and with a bit of luck, that electric jetpack should be fully charged. So we can head on down to the quarries again. We've got all our bits. I've made up a few more reactor casings to bring it up to the right number. So do I have everything which I need? No, I don't. You know what I would really like? I would really, really like a signalum filter. Or reinforced, or whatever it was. There we go, a signalum one. Signalum ingots, glass and iron nuggets. Now I had forgotten about this, and I can make one. That is wonderful. Was it a pane of glass, redstone and the iron nuggets? I think the iron nuggets have ended up over here. They have. Something vaguely like that. Iron nuggets, it's a piece of... oh no, it's a piece of hardened glass. That is less easy to get, but luckily we have one. So a hardened glass in there like that is going to get us 2 of these filters. I need these to make... what am I trying to say? I need these to sort out all the rubbish which is going to come out. I also would really like a load of chests. Because the thing here is that, you know what, I'm actually going to make these up to iron chests just because I have a decent amount of iron. Yeah, I've got more iron down there. I'm going to go mad and make these up to iron chests. There we go, 5 iron chests. The reason for all this being, I've got a lot of stuff going to come out of this quarry, and with this power source it's probably going to come out pretty darned quickly. So I really want all of my systems set up to accept it. I do have, yes, I do have a crescent hammer. Right, let's get over there. It's just an awful, awful long way to have to come back again is the big problem. So back along here, I still have to work on this bridge as well. I do want that ravine to be a feature. Leaving all of the ores in it. I like them just being sat there. I don't really need them. I would like those oreberry bushes back at the start though. It is a long old journey. There's some mushrooms in there, and I've really got to remember what's in that chest. It could be something quite useful. But I've not been there in absolutely ages. Okay, let's head on over and into the quarry, not falling down that hole, which I always want to fall down. But at least with a jetpack on, I don't need to worry too much, do I? Right. So, the idea is we are coming over to the back here. If I hit ye old F9 key, which you know is my favourite, I can pop on where the chunks are. So you can see we end on a chunk right there. So I'm going to pop down a landmark actually in the corner. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to put the quarry here. That means that the chunks where it is digging will be loaded, but this chunk will be loaded too, the one in front of it, which is exactly what I want. So I want one here as well. It will mean it'll load more chunks than it strictly needs to. The reason I want this chunk loaded is because I can just pop my nuclear reactor, my big reactor, down right here. Now how far back have I gone? Only this far. Okay, that's fine. It'll be a fairly small quarry, but that's okay. What is that? Is that only 2 chunks? It's going to make one 2 chunks by 2 chunks. I want something bigger than that. I want something that's at least 3 chunks in size. I thought I'd dug it out to the 3rd chunk. I clearly hadn't. Because if I'm going to go to the problem of setting all these reactors and stuff up at the bare minimum, I want to make the most of it, you know. So just keep on digging down here until we get to that. One to the right to get us into the corner, and there is where our landmark goes. Dash on back down here. Hit the landmarks, that's all correct. So all that we have to do is drop down the quarry, which is currently all the way over here, of course. F9 to get rid of that horrible thing. And dig you out. And I assume I picked you up. I did. I'm also going to dig you out. I've made a signalum servo rather than a filter, haven't I? I am the world's biggest muppet. Well, I mean the signalum filters will be really useful. That's broken, isn't it? Fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is go and make myself some signalum filters to go with those signalum servos and repair myself an axe. And I'll be right back in a second. Okay then, I am very nearly back and I have made myself up 2 signalum filters. It's a very good job I had those 2 extra signalum ingots on me. Whilst I was there, I also... what did I also do? I also grabbed a load of item ducting because I thought it would save me having to dig all the item ducting out from the old quarry. Right, let's run down to here. So what we need is this chest. Thank you. We don't really want any of those, but I do want that. And I cannot get that because it has gone a stupid direction. There we go. Right, let's head on back over here and get this quarry down. Quarry is going to go, let's just dig this out a little bit more. Quarry is going to live just right there. It will keep 7 chunks loaded, which is quite a lot, really. Now what I'm going to do is pop the chest on top, as usual. And then I'm going to pop the item ductings out sideways. Just as ever. Now, those signalum whatchamacallums, these, the signalum servos, are actually going to be really useful because they do work incredibly fast. A signalum servo, it can extract 64, a stack of 64 every half second, and this thing will actually be going fast enough to need that sort of speed. Perhaps not quite that much, but getting there. Right, pop you down, and pop all of these here iron chests down. We're going to pop the servo on here because I'm basically the filter even, because basically I'm going to Yeah, it's here, isn't it? So I'll tell us I don't want cobblestone or diorite. I'm going to filter out everything. So whitelist, only cobblestone and diorite will go that way. Now to the fun part. Let's build a nuclear reactor. So if you've never built one of these, basically you just build them as a big square of any size that you like. Now I'm going to actually build it right into the corner, I think. Which is going to mean it's going to live over here. Now I can't build it right into the corner, it's going to have to be one out so that I can get around the back of it. So it will go just like this. So 3 by 3 is the size I'm going to make it, with corners. On the back of this I'm going to place the power tap. So the power will come out the back, whereupon, I don't like that noise, it will go out through the red net energy cable and down. You can see it's connecting to everything but at the minute, but that's fine, it's because this hasn't formed a multi-block yet. In the centre goes the fuel rod, like that. Either side I'm going to put the access ports. So a fuel in and a fuel out. This one can be fuel out. On the front goes the controller. On top of the fuel rod goes the reactor, whatever it's called, the control rod. And then we just have a load of these round the side. And what we end up with is a multi-block forming instantly, and that should now have connected, which it has. So I think this is now all set up, so all I have to do is pop the yellorium into here. I'm only going to pop 12 pieces in to start with. 4 immediately go in, fill up the fuel, and then you start it. And you can see it is producing, it should produce around 260, 270 RF per tick. The hotter it gets, there's an optimum temperature where it will produce the most fuel and use up the least. But you can see that that is working a heck of a lot faster than it was. Now I have lost one of my landmarks, the other one should be fine down here somewhere though, or has it despawned already? Probably. So yeah, those survivalist generators were producing a pathetic amount. I am completely disoriented. They are over here, aren't they? How much do these produce? Does it actually say? It doesn't say, does it? They produce like about 1 per tick or something stupid. They probably produce 10. But this is producing 200, which is an awful, awful lot. So I am pretty happy with that. This should carry on working extremely well. You can see how quickly this is starting to go now, and extremely quickly. So that will be it for this episode, guys. We have got ourselves a nuclear-powered quarry, so things should start moving a bit faster now. So now I really need to get a sorting system going so that I can handle all this stuff coming in as well. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I do hope to see you once again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.